Okay, so here we have the E-prance GS608 dash cam. Pretty simple little guy. Got your micro SD card there, HDMI, USB, got an analog video out, and just 4 simple buttons: power, OK, and a couple of arrow buttons. This is your mounting point where you're going to attach it to the car, and this just goes 90 degrees, so it gives you a little bit of flexibility. We're going to go ahead and turn this on. Get a little startup noise so you know it's powered on if you're not paying attention to it. And this has a little built-in battery. It's not very much, just so it can continue to run in the car once you've turned it off for a few minutes, depending on your settings. I don't want it to run out while I'm doing video here, so I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. I've just got a little USB power. And as you can see, now that it's been connected to power, much like when you turn your car on, it's going to start recording. Now if it was off, it would just turn on by itself and start recording. I don't need it to record right now, so I'm going to go ahead and stop recording. And in this case, OK is going to be your start and stop button. The manual references a record button, but it doesn't really tell you that it's actually the OK button. Okay, so before we get started in the menus, I just wanted to show you one little feature here that is not mentioned anywhere, and I just kind of discovered it by accident. These arrow keys, when you're not in a menu, whether you're recording or not, lets you zoom in. Of course, I don't really have anything to show you here, so I'll use my hand. You can zoom into 4x, and much like any digital zoom, it's pretty terrible and fuzzy, so I don't really recommend using it, but it's there nonetheless. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into the menus. Obviously we have the 4 buttons, arrows for navigation, and OK is OK or select. Power button's actually going to be your menu button, so we're going to press that once to get in. You got 2 columns here. Press it once to move over, press it again and it'll go away. So we'll start out here in the first menu. In here you've got resolution, and you've got 1080, 720, you've got kind of a wide 480, which is 720 by 480, regular 480 and 240. I'm going to leave that at 1080 for now. You got loop recording. This is the duration of files that it's going to create. So I've been using 3 minutes. It's going to create just 3-minute files over and over again until it reaches the end of the card, and then it's going to start erasing the oldest files and continue recording, which is what you want with a dash cam, so you don't have to think about it. So I'm going to leave that on 3 minutes. Motion detection. I have this off. This is how it came. I'm not really sure what you would use that for unless you were using it as some sort of like stationary camera. So obviously if you had that on, you'd be recording all the time in the car. I really don't see the point of that as a dash cam. Date stamp. This is self-explanatory. On, you're going to have date and time hard-coded into the video when you watch it back. Record audio, that just basically turns the mic on and off. It's not super sensitive. You're going to pick up car noise for the most part. You can kind of hear the radio in the background, or if you're talking on the phone, you can hear that. It's not really that important. I just left it on just for the heck of it. G sensor sensitivity. Fortunately, I haven't had the chance to test this out. This is supposed to basically lock the current file that it's recording. Say if you get into an accident, if you slam on the brakes or get hit, it's supposed to detect that and lock the file. So I just have this set on the default medium. I really don't know how that's going to work. So I suppose I could go slam on my brakes sometime and see what happens. And if I do that, I'll update my review, but not right now. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the second one. We have a few more pages here. This is going to be a 3-page menu. This one's a little more just basic settings. Date and time, pretty simple. I'm just going to go ahead and skim through that. And actually I don't remember how to get out of here, so that's fun. Let's figure it out together. So OK goes through, and we're still here. I'm going to go ahead and hit the power button. Yeah, that might be the only way to get out of that one. I'm not really sure. Auto power off. This is basically going to just turn it off regardless of what's happening after whatever you set. Just a moment ago, just to test it out, I set it at 2 minutes. Came out to closer to 3 minutes. Plugged into power, it shut itself off just sitting here. I'm not really sure what you would use that for, so I've been using, obviously I'll leave that off. Beep sound, self-explanatory, turn it on and off. Language, you got a bunch of different languages here to choose from. Quite a few actually. Frequency, this is going to be the output frequency if you're using the analog output for a television. Same here, TV mode, you got PAL and NTSC. Default settings, this is going to reset everything to manufacturer, so I don't want to do that. Version just displays the firmware version, I guess. I don't know if that's possible to update that or not. I highly doubt you're going to get a whole lot of support out of these cheap cams, so. And let's see, delay power off. This is basically going to be when you turn your car off and you lose power. It's going to continue recording. Right now I have it set up for 15 seconds, so it's going to continue recording video for 15 more seconds on the built-in battery, and then it's going to end the file and shut off. So you can set it to 1 or 5 minutes, 30 or 60, which I don't even think the battery would make it that long. So 15 seconds or a minute seems good enough for me. Anti-shaking, I've tried this both on and off, and I haven't really noticed much of a difference. I really don't know what it does. I would assume it's some sort of like stabilization for the video, but honestly I don't know. Image rotation, if you happen to have to mount it upside down, that's how you're going to get your video right side up without having to deal with it on the computer. So mine's mounted correctly. I'm going to go ahead and leave that off. The screensaver, you can have it off 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. And basically what this is going to be is if you have it off, you're going to be able to see what it's recording all the time. If you set it to, I have it set to 1 minute, and so basically when I turn the car on, I can see that it's on, I can see that it's recording, and that it's, you know, pointed the right direction. And then after a minute, it's just going to go blank. My little LED will continue to show me what it's doing, so I know that it's working. And that's it for the screens. We're back to the top here. So menu button again will get us out. And sorry for that. And basically, that's all there is to it. You can turn it off manually by holding the power button. And it says goodbye, and that's it. So that is the menus and all the configurable options for this little guy. Hopefully that was helpful.